Hello and welcome to Alliance Wars Season 44, Episode 5. So in Episode 4 against the Chinese Alliance, we had a very strong victory, just the 2 deaths, and I think once they knew they'd lost, they gave up a lot of deaths, just stopped boosting or whatever, which you normally see in lower tiers, but not in Tier 1, because every attack bonus does count in terms of end of season points. But we'll take the W, so that's 4 for the season so far. We haven't lost yet. Massive war today for us. We've got 7 fights, which is the most we've had so far this season. And our opponent, well, it doesn't get any bigger than this. We've got GT40. Last season they came second. They're currently first at the moment. They've also won all of their wars for this season, and they're a consistent top 3 alliance. They literally come top 3 every season. So very major underdogs here. But our team today is our rank 5 Ascended Omega Red, 6-star rank 5 Blade, and our 6-star rank 1 Ghost Rider. So obviously Ghost Rider will be providing the Spirit of Justice synergy to Blade, so that his danger sense can include all villain champions, and I believe we'll be fighting 2 villains with Blade this war. Blade will also have the Decay Attacker tactic, giving him immunity to placebo buffs, because we are fighting 3 Sugar Pill defenders, and he'll need that attacker tactic, of course. So our masteries for the start of this war are the same as usual. We are going to be changing masteries 4 times this war, however. So it's going to be a very expensive war for me unit-wise, as we switch between Blade and Omega Red fights. So first up, we've got this America Chavez. This is a 7-star rank 2. We're going full path 5 in section 1 and section 2. So Ebb and Flow knockdown. And when we do knock her down, she goes debuff immune. So basically the play is to not knock her down at all. Now I made a massive mistake here because I dexed, and as the dex ended, she went unstoppable, and I hit her twice, and she hit me back for a full combo, which mostly crit. So I didn't make that mistake again for the rest of this fight. I quickly was reminded of the fact that these defenders do go unstoppable when the buffs expire. Well, they have a chance. I think it's a 20% chance. So like I said, we want to do this whole fight without knocking her down, because it can get very complicated when she's debuff immune. You won't have those wither debuffs, you won't have bleeds, and we won't be able to parry her, of course, so because we don't have a guidance boost. So it is safer, just even though it's a lot slower, just to play the whole fight, just parrying and comboing, blocking the special one, not dexing it like that. Yeah, we want to minimize the amount of dexing we're doing at all, because of that chance she will go unstoppable, because it is quite long unstoppable. So we just want to, bait those special ones out. Obviously we don't want her to throw a special 2, because that can very easily be the end of us. But we're going to be relying heavily on Blade's regen here, because Blade's regen is still the best controllable regen in the game, in my opinion. It doesn't get any better than Blades. We're ticking for just over 1400 a tick at rank 5, which is very, very powerful. And it's very easy for us to get backed into the corner, so we're going to need that regen to heal up that block damage we're taking, not only from the parries, but mostly the special ones. Because the annoying part of baiting the special ones is that, or not baiting it, but blocking the special one entirely is we can't punish it like we normally can. And that also just means it's bad for territory. We get trapped into the corner quite easily with this strategy. But Blade's regen does significantly offset that and help us in our favour. So yeah, trapped right in the corner there. She's down to 30%. So it is a very slow fight, but there's not really many better strategies to attacking this with Blade, I don't think. Now we've got to a point here, she's down to 14%, so I thought I could have maybe knocked her down into a special 3, and that would have probably killed her, but I thought just to play it safe, stick to my guns. We've been doing this the whole time, it's been working. I thought she starts throwing heavy attacks now, and we're getting to have to dex them, so there's a chance she's going to go unstoppable. She does go unstoppable, I think, after this one. Yep, and you can see it is a very long unstoppable, and she's just throwing heavy after heavy into the corner. We have to basically hit her, see if she goes unstoppable, and then back off, and then finally she does let us parry her there, and she goes down with one more combo here. So very slow fight, but considering the poor start we had, it was a pretty good recovery, I thought. So the next fight in Path 5 we have is a Nick Fury. This is a rank 5 Ascended Nick Fury actually. So we're obviously using Omega Red instead of Blade. And we will be putting Suicides on. You can do Omega Red versus Nick without Suicides, like it's not too bad. He's a good counter overall, but because of the heavy hitter node on this fight, that means he's going to go unstoppable when he throws those heavy attacks, which is very annoying in Second Life when he's stunning me. So we want to have that suicide damage for extra attack, really, just to burst him down quicker and not have to worry about all that unstoppable stuff in his Second Life. Now, obviously, we want to bait special 2s as much as possible. He's throwing special 1s into our block. I think it was this fight where I started noticing the game was really laggy. And I think after this fight, I really should have restarted the game because I'll show you it's not so evident in this fight from the sound, but in later fights, I can't show you guys the sound because it's so out of sync. Like I'll show you a few seconds of it in later fights, but it was so out of sync upon reviewing the video that you barely pay attention to it. Now, I got hit by the Special 2 probably for the first time in like 3 years. I can't remember the last time I got hit by a Special 2. It's been that long. Which got us down to like 14%, but luckily we can heal fully from the bleeds and we do have Adrenaline on our side. And we do have the Fury up at the moment, so we want to basically combo into Special 3. Now, I did throw a Special 3. He only had 4 spores, but because I still had that Fury up, I wanted to do the maximum amount of damage. Because trying to knock him down with that unstoppable heavy would have been very annoying. So he does throw the heavy there. I go for a very silly hit into his heavy there, which fortunately we backed out of. He's only down to 4% now, so I thought one more combo should do it, and that's exactly what happened. But very lucky escape there. We probably should have died that fight, given how poorly I played that. So now into section 2, we have a Quicksilver, just a rank 4 Quicksilver actually. There wouldn't have been many rank 4s on the map at all. But we're going in with Blade for these section 2 fights, so we're obviously going to be removing Suicides because Blade is not as suicide friendly as Omega Red is. Like, he can be used with Suicides with his regen, but it's safer just to go without Suicides. It's not as important for this Quicksilver, but we have a Kindred after this, so we definitely want as much health as we can get for that guy. Obviously, we're maxing out deep wounds. We do have one. We put one in Assassin. It's pretty much the same as what we had for Chavez, but I had these extra points that I had an MD before, so I thought, well, we're not going to be using MD, so I thought I'd put the extra point, or did one glass cannon and then the rest in Limber, I think, and yeah, headed into this Quicksilver. So Blade obviously not the best Quicksilver counter because he's not a evade counter or anything, but he's better than Omega Red for an Everflow Intercept Quicksilver. So I did finally get an intercept there. We do want to block these specials because with Blade's reduced debuff duration, those whiplashes don't last very long when Blade has a lot of power. So it's better to just block those special ones and block and parry him as much as possible because you can see that whiplash is not lasting very long at all. And unfortunately, I didn't parry the special one there, so we did lose a bit of health to whiplash there. And if you evade the special one, you can get up to 3 whiplashes. So he did go down pretty quickly, but it could have gone very badly had we dexed more than parried. So then the Kindred next, rank 5. So this is Ebb and Flow Intercept and also Mighty Charge. And then Kindred is also Tactic Defender. Now, funny story, I got intercepted there. But also, his tags are not working in game. Like it doesn't show that he's a villain in game. It does on Aunt May, but not in game. So we actually didn't think that Blade would get Danger Sense against Kindred, but it turns out luckily he did. And that was probably the difference between me not dying in this fight. I did start well there. Like I punished the special 2, so we did pause the outbreak timer there. We do want to, we got the intercept in there, so we can chain into a special 2 with a Fury up, so that did a lot of damage. We do have the skill power boosts on, of course. The outbreak did happen there. I really should have thrown my striker into a heavy here, I reckon, because I just got backed. Well, I threw another special 2 just to give us some space. But I was just backing myself into the corner like an idiot, which I should not have done. Because, you know, once that root goes active, and he went unstoppable there from one of my dexes. Once that root goes active, well, it went active, I think, right after the special 1. I should have thrown the special straight away. I was going mid-combo, and I whiffed that hit. I got hit by the special 1, but luckily we were able to hit him with the end of our special 2 there. But I played that end of that fight really poorly. I should have just reduced that outbreak timer. But, you know, a solo is a solo, right? Alright, so onto the mini-boss islands now. We have an Attuma first. So we fought a Mantis here last war. And it went pretty well. So there wasn't really much concern going into this Attuma here. Because we did have a guidance boost as well. And we obviously are going to be putting on suicides for... Well, we've got 2 Omega Red fights left before our final Blade fight. So we'll be running the same mastery setup we had for Nick Fury for Omega Red. We're not going to be putting any points into Deep Wounds though, because we're going to be resetting our offense setup right after these Omega Red fights. So yeah, Guidance Boost makes this fight very easy. We don't have to block bait heavies at all. We can just lock that degen in. He can't shrug those damaging debuffs, so we're all good with that. And obviously the extra long stun timer means we can build more spores by just sitting and waiting for the spores to build up there. So we only have 17 spores, but that's, you know, more than enough for this rank 5 Attuma here. Got a nice reparry them there, and well, the spores did fall off a bit there. We didn't throw a heavy attack, but no, didn't really make a difference. And Power Snake never triggered once. And then the next fight here we have is a Korg. So we did this exact fight last war against the Chinese Alliance. Except last time I had a guidance boost, this time I didn't have a guidance boost. And I said last time, you don't need a guidance boost. And we proved that in this fight here. Well, I did get hit there at the start. But yeah, you don't need a guidance boost for Korg. With Omega Red, you know, once those 10 spores go up, it doesn't take long, even without Sabretooth. You know, we got up to 20 spores there. Unfortunately, threw the special 1 at the worst time. So we lost 7 spores there. And then another 2 there, trying to bait a parry. But as long as we have 10, we're fine. He goes down quickly enough. You know, the degen's ticking there for 3,500, just at 12 spores, which is very strong. So we probably could have done these fights just fine without suicides. But you know, when we're facing guys like GT40, it's better to be prepared the best way you can. So on to day 2 now. We've just got this last fight left, but it is the most difficult fight. This is the Polka Dot Power Mysterio. It's caused a lot of people a lot of trouble, actually. I know some people have had success with Stealthy this season, but we're going to be using Blade. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be removing, obviously, suicides, but also all of our proficiencies, because with Stunning Reflection, you obviously can't stun him. But Blade's well-timed blocks still inflict bleeds, even if it's not, you know, a parry per se. And then we want to remove Dexterity as well, just to eliminate any chance that he does go unstoppable, because he is a Sugar Pill defender. So we're just going to be pumping up our defense with some inequity, some extra perfect block and block proficiency, and also some extra health. In fact, like there wasn't really many other spots we could put these points. I mean, maybe in offense more assassins potentially, but we want to go in with as much health as we can get. So I did some practice against my 7-star Mysterio, just see if we could just avoid that heavy without triggering. Well, obviously we can't trigger Dexterity if we don't have it. And the same with Special 1, we just want to see if we can block the Special 1 and also just like well-time block the first hit of it and apply a bleed. With Polka Dot Power, we want to keep him bleeding the whole time so we are gaining power the whole time. And I figured out if we can get trapped into the corner and he does like throw a combo, we can, you know, dodge that first hit while against the wall, and he won't hit us. So I did practice this for about 5 minutes, and then once I got relatively comfortable enough, just parrying, or not parrying, but just getting those well-timed blocks against his basic attacks, kept him bleeding the whole time, I was ready to go. And we didn't want to throw a special 2 because that would have complicated the fight. We just wanted to stick to special 1. We're boosted to the max. We've got invulnerability boost, full skill boost, full rainbow, guidance boost as well for extra attack. And it is a rank 2 Mysterio, of course. And brute force, we do want to keep that off us as much as possible, but if it ticks for a few seconds, it's not the end of the world. And the best part about this matchup is being a decay attacker, we're fully immune to damage over time, and that includes Mysterio's damage reflection from the special 1. So we can actually completely ignore that damage reflection, which is really good. That would have made this fight very, very difficult if we weren't able to avoid that. So we threw a couple of special 2s back to back that did push us to a special 3, which is not ideal. It was a bit of overkill, it turns out, in the end. But the special 3 still applies a pretty nice long bleed. So it keeps our power ticking. I think we do combo, or we actually do. We push into a special 2, which does power drain us a little bit, but he's pretty close to dying now. We've only lost half our health. We chain into a striker and then into a special 1, and he does go down. So I was very happy with my performance for this fight. It was definitely probably the trickiest fight I've had this war on paper, and I think I pulled it off pretty well. So 7 solos for this war, no deaths so far this season, so I'm really happy with that. Approaching the halfway mark of the season, it looks like we're probably going to lose this war. In fact, we're definitely going to lose this war, but as long as we can keep our deaths low, they all count towards our end of season points. So I'll give you guys a full update in the next episode, but thank you guys for watching this war, and I'll see you in the next one.